Well, hello there, brothers and sisters of the WoT Blitz universe. You're watching WoT Blitz Addict again. Welcome back to the channel. And today I decided to make a review on this little monster here, the T49, because some of you already axed it and get enough XP to get the new line, the T92E1 and the Sheridan line. And some of you are still trying, so for those of you who are not really familiar with the tank, I decided to make a review with the gameplay, with some tips and tricks, how to use it, when to use it, and how to be effective. So I'm just showing it here with a legendary camo, the Hornet camo, which is really epic, looks great. But I don't want to waste my time in the garage. Let's get through the consumables, provisions, and so on, and let's go straight to the battles because I have plenty to show you, and I really don't want this episode to be like half an hour. So let's go straight in. Okay, so basically I'm using my standard equipment, as you can see, standard consumables, sorry, which is the multi-purpose restoration pack, repair kit, and adrenaline. If you won't use adrenaline on this tank, then you can go for the engine power boost. It also works well on this tank, especially that's a light tank and sometimes you need to run and do it fast. So it's up to you. I prefer adrenaline because sometimes it's really saved my ass many times, and I simply prefer it, but it's up to you. For provisions, I'm just using all I can to get my crew skills, so a case of cola, a can of cola, and improved fuel to get some more power to weight ratio. As for the ammunition, as you can see, I'm half on heat, half on hash, and I really suggest you to put it this way, because shooting straight heat, you won't be effective in this tank. It's close to impossible, because when you hit tracks, you will do 0 damage. If you hit something in your way, you will do 0 damage, like the obstacles and anything. If you can't really pan tanks, heavy tanks frontally, medium tanks even, some heavily armored. So when you shoot hash, you will do at least splash damage. When you shoot hit, you will simply do nothing. So I really advise you to get at least half or half heat and hash. For equipment, I'm using calibrated shells to get this HE penetration as best as possible. Also with the heat, as you can see, only 167 on penetration on heat, which is nothing. Chance gun lane drive, vertical stabilizer. It's a mobile light tank, so if you want to snipe with it, you can use easily the refined gun. But I prefer to simply use the vertical stabilizer to get better accuracy while on the run. Defense system, of course, I'm using improved assembly. There's no armor, there's no need to enhance armor. I'm using optics to spot for my team. If you want to snipe with it, you can use camouflage net, but it would be a waste of a light tank, and especially this kind of a light tank. And I'm using Angel Accelerator to boost this speed as much as possible. If you have opened this too, I would advise you to use Toolbox, and I would advise you to use high-end consumables if you're using adrenaline, or if you're using speed boost. If not, then consumable delivery system. Okay, as you can see, I'm using my Fan Zone camo from the Twister Cup event. I received it during a stream, I think. I just put it in because it's a funny tank, and I decided just to put in some funny camo on it. But how to play it? Mostly you're a fast tank with big alpha gun. So it's nice to spot for your team at the beginning of the battle. Simply to give some information for your team where the enemies are and how can you approach them. And as you can see, we can easily put some shots in with the help of our team and stay in the cover. I know There's a bulldog sitting in the A cap right now. I really want to stop him from capping, but I really don't want to poke out and risk my HP. So we tried to do a sneaky shot on the side of the mode 1. Unfortunately, we miss. And that's the only downside really of this tank is the dispersion. But if you get close, yeah, you just can do stuff like this. So, yeah, and if you use hash shells, you can roll higher, up to, I don't know, even 1,000 damage or close to 1,000 damage. I think at least at 800 as a max roll. So yeah, so first of all, how you should play it. First spot, then if you don't have support, don't risk it. Roll back around, relocate, try to find some targets which you can one-shot or do a drive-by on. If you face the heavily armored tanks, and this will be great. Just look, just hit, yeah. And it's all over. So you can just try to focus the targets that are not focusing you, simply. So you can deal damage without receiving any damage. As you can see, it's 3-on-3 right now. We did quite a lot of damage. Our teammate also did quite a lot of damage. And now you can see the downside of this tank. You have the heat penetration, which is terrible. And you have the hash, which is quite expensive, but at the same time hash gives you at least a splash damage. Even if you won't be able to get the full penetration, at least you can get some splash. So if you need to shoot the enemy frontally, especially the heavy tanks or heavily armored medium tanks, you should use your hash. If you try to do a drive-by and you have no other option, here we're gonna put one in to the back of the EXP and it's all over. And as you can see, we were active in this game. We were trying to support, flank the tanks. You will see a few more games. This tank can really make influence on the battlefield. Now you can see we are using our speed because this tank is really fast. As you can see, we are going over 70 kilometers per hour. I decided to just go in cap C because I'm a fast tank and my amigo is a bit slower, but I will tell him to cap B while I'm capping C, because otherwise we're gonna simply lose this game on the cap points. So he's going to the B cap, I'm finishing with the C cap, and now I'm gonna go and defend A because I know the LTTB has no other option than try to cap A. And exactly, he's doing exactly the thing we're expecting. So I'm still using my mobility to get to the A cap. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get it on time, but we have 2 caps already, and unfortunately I'm gonna miss this shot, which is a shame because it would be nice damage on the last kill and one more kill. But still, we're gonna easily win this on cap points. So yeah, that's one of the examples how you can play this tank. Of course, it wasn't a mastery; it was only a second class. But well, I'm not like super Unicum player, and I'm just trying to do my best, like you all guys, while you're learning how to play. So yeah, just those are the battles I have mostly. Like in most cases, I have like second class, third class, maybe a first class. I haven't mastered this tank yet because many people play it. Many good players, Unicums, super Unicums play this tank, and they're doing some crazy damage. And this battle, I want to show you this battle because you will see how effective this tank can really be if you need to just save your team from total annihilation. So As you can see, we're trying to get past here. I was doing it slowly because I had no idea if they're trying to watch me or not. Unfortunately, we're gonna bounce this shot, and that's the main issue. The second issue, the tank. The heat pen is better than HE pen, but as long as you, with this dispersion, when you hit the tracks, you will do no damage. If you hit the spaced armor, most likely you won't do no damage. So yeah, and it's really hard to pan the tanks frontally, but if you do it like this, well, like I did, just get behind the reds. As you can see, our team is melting really fast. It's right now it's 4 against 6, and I'm trying simply to try to get some shots in. I was so lucky that this went all over the fence and hit the T54 T34. Because you must remember, heat, same as hash, HE, and so on, can't travel through any obstacles. So if you hit anything like a small fence, whatever, it's in your way, simply you won't be able to shoot the enemy. So the AMX decided to push on us, so great, third kill for us, but it's still 4 against 3. So we need to reset our camo. It's 3 on 3, so it's a bit easier for me right now. But I will try to flank around again. Bit risky to go through the middle because I have no idea where the 2 remaining reds are. But there's only 2 remaining right now. And the T2064 is gonna do quite a nice job, and now we're gonna load hash and straight through the ass. And as you can see, we did massive damage, like 800 roll. So it's nice to use those when you see the fully pennable places on the tank, like the butt of the T28 Proto. And he gonna back up. We're gonna use heat this time because he was on quite low HP, and heat is simply cheaper to shot. Yeah, I'm a cheap ass, I know. Yeah. I could use the hash, but still there was no need to use the hash, and the Super P will finish up the last remaining IS-3 defender. But we finished up on 4 kills, as I remember correctly. Yeah, 2,600 damage and second class again. And we got the got a quite nice battle with top damage for our team. So pretty much we quite carried this game in some case. And this is the last game, or one of the last. I don't know if I will put 3 or 4 games in this video. Yeah, it's gonna be probably the second class again. I don't really remember, but like I told you, first of all, I'm just trying to get in front of my team and trying to spot for my team. I was a bit not really confident about pushing right here because I knew the reds will be all over the place, and our heavies decided to push on at the flank. So okay, if they want to, they can do it, but I won't risk my full HP just to push in front of the reds without any support from the big guns. So I'm simply playing it a bit more passively this time. And there's an LTTB, and the magical armor of LTTB, we bounced on the gun of the LTTB. We received 1, unfortunately. But still, we're gonna try to stay here and put some nice shots in. And there's T28 Proto. Yeah, nice roll over there with the hash. Because the sides and the backs of American tanks are quite easy to penetrate. We're trying to reload on time, backing up, trying to aim as best as we can. And now we're gonna just snap a shot without fully aimed gun, but fortunately for us, it went straight in. So there's T34 here. He knows I'm here. So I'm gonna simply try to hit this little deck, and I was able to. Otherwise, I would bounce on the turret, or simply wouldn't be able to penetrate because my hit shell would hit the tracks and do no damage. But we were able to put the shell in. Sometimes when this gun works, it works really fine. And otherwise, in other games, I had games like I fired like 6 hit shells and they all bounced. Yeah, which was quite phenomenal. Here's another nice shot. I was hoping to hit that Ferdinand. And there's T26 E4 sideways. It's hard to pen him frontally, so I'm gonna try to hit his side. Unfortunately, he will get down, but I think we'll be able to hit one shot here. Yeah, we were able to put one shot in for 600, and yeah, it's this time I played more passively, but still managed to do some nice damage. As you can see, over 3k damage. And like I told you, it's an average game. It's not a mastery. It's not an epic game. It's not nothing you can't really do in this tank. If you know how to play light tanks, if you know how to use your camo, if you know they're quite mobile and can go around the battlefield, you will simply do fine in this tank. Okay, so one battle. This time on Winter Malinovka, and I was trying to convince my team to push the medium flank, the left side of the map, because we have equal numbers of light tanks, medium tanks, but we have advantage on heavies. So if we all push this side, we will be able to clear the fast tanks and then take care of the heavies. And here's the bad shot just yellowing in front of me, like on Deflate. So yeah. Yeah, I wish all of you have such a great enemies that makes really the life way easier. Unfortunately, we were unable to penetrate the 59 pattern. I know there's a T49 over there, and I'm predicting that there's one TD somewhere on that side, so I decided to push in to help the Bulldog. By the way, the Bulldog, the German Bulldog will do the great job. We'll be supporting each other just on this flank to push it. And I was able to find the cover to protect myself. And I can see there's a super Pershing. I know I can't pen him, but at least I can do some splash damage to make him back up so we can push this flank. It's a fear factor. You have a big gun, so you can do some nice stuff with it. And we can see there's a waffle. My team is pushing, so we're gonna push with them. They were able to clear the super Pershing, and now we're gonna simply try to push on the waffle. I know there's a T49, but he has no clear shot on me. We're gonna push straight into the waffle, stop our tank behind the cover. Always try to find some hard cover next to you, because the reload is really long, and you really can't afford to stay in open in the light tank without no armor, because you won't bounce anything. If you're lucky, you can bounce on your gun, but it's like 1%, maybe less than 1% that it's gonna happen. So now we're pushing on the heavy side, on the heavy tanks. I was hoping to get one shot into this AMX, but my team was able to clear him. We take a snapshot here, but couldn't really hit the IS-8, but it was worth it, because before I get there I will be reloaded already. So we're pushing with the Bulldog. The IS-8 is gonna focus me, because he can't really do nothing to the Bulldog, but he angles his armor in such a manner that could penetrate his front plate where the ammo rack is. Shame I haven't hit the ammo rack. So again, we were second class, but we were pretty effective, so all good. Thanks for watching again. Remember to subscribe, like, share and comment, and catch you all on the next one. Bye bye.